Do you know that right now as we speak, there are Western countries that are stealing Nigeria's oil, out telling you to blame Russia or whatever enemy they create for you, and then sending their intelligence extensions after independent voices who dare to criticize this paradigm? What you see on your screen is the Eagle Le Havre. It's a French-registered oil tanker. And about 3 minutes after 10 p.m. on January 13, ship's transponder gave its location as just off the coast of Port Harcourt in southern Nigeria. And then about 30 minutes later, the transponder gave its location as the port of Yoshu in South Korea. There's about 12,000 kilometers worth of ocean between Port Harcourt in Nigeria and Yosu in South Korea. So at the maximum traveling speed that an oil tanker is capable of, which is about 17 knots, which comes to about 31 kilometers per hour, give or take, this trip should have actually taken just about 16 days. And yet apparently this trip was done in just under 30 minutes. So either this French ship had stumbled into an undiscovered wormhole and someone on that oil tanker is about to get a Nobel Prize in physics, or something else entirely was happening. Maybe this ship did not want to be identified as being where it was and someone fiddled with its transponder to give it a false location. And what could that something be? Well, a few weeks later, Radio France International, a French state-owned broadcaster, put out an article decrying Nigeria's high rate of crude oil theft. And let's slip it in somewhere near the bottom of the article that, hey, suggestions have been made that some of the actors involved in this widespread oil theft are Russia. It's a Russian shadow fleet that is responsible for it. In other words, we've been caught clearly with our hands in the cookie jar because this story was actually published in Nigerian media, even though it didn't get much attention. But hey, don't look at us. Look at some enemy that we have decided for you that you should have. Why this is important is that if you recall, a few weeks ago, a story emerged about a secret document which was leaked from an NGO linked to British Foreign Intelligence, which attempted to categorize Nigerian and West African voices into those that are apparently pro-Western and anti-Western, those that are apparently approved voices, and those that are threats. And very crucially, in that report, multiple mention was made of the oil industry in Nigeria, players in the oil industry, and specifically the involvement of France in West Africa, and how apparently anyone who speaks up against the economic or political brigandage of France in Nigeria is apparently doing so from a position of being Kremlin-backed. Putting two and two together, you can see a multifaceted information war being fought, where those who are actually responsible for economic brigandage in West Africa are attempting to shift responsibility for their crimes, and then, at the same time, attempting to criminalize any critical examination of their own activities and their own actions in the countries of the people concerned. Long story short, the Cold War never actually ended, and the usual suspects would like very much to be able to determine for Africans what side to be on, or if at all they should even be on a side, because God forbid that Africans should make their own economic and geopolitical decisions.